Hi everybody, welcome to Easy English. So today we're going to be discussing antonyms, or the opposites of words. Even people with professional English skills sometimes get confused about which prefix to insert at the beginning to make a word the opposite. Easy, for example, loves complicated English words, but even she isn't sure about which prefix fits. But don't worry, today we'll focus on easy, everyday words to get you started. Quick quiz. Not sure if this video is for you? Then let's see if you know the antonyms or opposites for the following words. Happy, correct, honest, fiction, typical, fair, patient, kind, possible, and symmetrical. Got them all? Well then let's see how many you guessed correctly and how prefixes can actually help you make opposites easily. Before we start this week's episode, if you're a regular viewer of Easy English but you're not yet a subscriber, then it would really mean the world for us if you would just quickly click the subscribe button below, and we'll get started on everyday antonyms. The prefix un, happy meaning feeling good or pleased, becomes unhappy, not happy or sad. Kind meaning nice and caring becomes unkind, rude or harsh. Known meaning familiar or recognized becomes unknown, not known or unfamiliar. Safe meaning free from danger becomes unsafe, dangerous or risky. Tidy meaning neat and organized becomes untidy, messy or disorganized. Fair meaning just and reasonable becomes unfair, not just or biased. Usual meaning normal or common becomes unusual, not common or rare. Comfortable, physically or mentally relaxed becomes uncomfortable, awkward or not relaxed. Clear, meaning easy to understand, hopefully like me, becomes unclear, confusing or hard to understand. Certain, meaning sure or definite, becomes uncertain, meaning not sure or doubtful. Friendly, meaning kind and pleasant, I hope like me, becomes unfriendly, not friendly or even hostile. And willing, meaning ready or happy to do something, becomes unwilling, which is not willing or reluctant. The next section is the prefix in. Now there are some variations depending on the first letter of the word. For example, correct, meaning right or accurate, becomes incorrect, wrong or mistaken. Logical, meaning sense or reasonable, becomes illogical, meaning unreasonable. Regular, meaning following a pattern or usual, becomes irregular, uneven or unusual. Balanced, meaning even or stable, becomes imbalanced, uneven or unstable. Responsible, meaning reliable or accountable, becomes irresponsible, meaning careless. Legal, meaning it's something allowed by law, becomes illegal, which is against the law. Possible, meaning something is able to happen, can become impossible, which can't happen. Patient, meaning able to wait calmly, becomes impatient, not calm. Restless. Polite, showing good manners, can become impolite, meaning rude. Relevant, connected to the matter, can become irrelevant, not connected or off topic. Credible, meaning believable or trustworthy, can become incredible, not believable or hard to believe. So I thought this would be a good point for you and I to take a little breather from listing all of these 50 antonyms, and in this time I just want to quickly ask you that if you are someone who's looking to improve their English and take the English to a next level, or maybe you've even hit a wall with your English and you need the extra impetus to get going again in these autumnal cold months, then I would personally love to ask you to check out our Easy English membership. There are 3 tiers of our Easy English membership, and if you're someone who's looking to learn with this episode, for example, then you should check out our Learner membership. It's a place where we supply you with learning material for all of our videos and podcasts to help you improve your listening or comprehension skills. By becoming a member, you'll be able to download learning material for our videos such as vocabulary lists, transcripts, video downloads, audio downloads, or what I have here, our worksheets. Our worksheets take from the transcript of each episode and apply it into small vocabulary tests, asking you to fill in the blanks. We also have a British slang vocabulary section, also asking you to fill in the blanks with various phrases and slang words that are commonly used in the English language. And then at the end, we have a fun Odd Ones Out game, testing your cultural knowledge of the UK and the British Isles. So if you're someone who's looking to take their English to that next level and really feel like you can integrate and speak to native British English speakers, then why don't you consider becoming a member of Easy English by going to easyenglish.video/membership. Okay, back to our 50 antonyms. The next prefix is dis. For example, agree. To have the same opinion can become disagree, to have a completely different opinion. Like, to enjoy or find pleasant, can become dislike, to not enjoy. Honest, meaning truthful, becomes dishonest, which is not truthful. Appear, to be seen, becomes disappear, to vanish. Connect, to join or link, becomes disconnect, to separate. Approve, to accept or agree, becomes disapprove, to say no to something. Order, arrangement or command becomes disorder, a mess or a confusion. Agreeable is someone who's pleasant and easy to accept. If someone is then disagreeable, they are unpleasant. Satisfied, being content or pleased, becomes dissatisfied, not pleased. Trust, belief in reliability becomes distrust, doubt, or to not believe in somebody. Advantage, the benefit or gain, can become disadvantage, not beneficial at all, or negative. So the prefix of non, for example, fiction, a made-up story, becomes non-fiction, a factual writing. Existent, meaning real or present, becomes non-existent, which is something that does not exist. Smoker, someone who smokes cigarettes, becomes a non-smoker, someone who doesn't smoke. Violent, using physical force on something, becomes non-violent, peaceful. Stop, to end an action, is non-stop, which is something which is continuously doing something. Sense, meaning or perception, becomes nonsense, no meaning, meaningless. Verbal, using words, becomes non-verbal, without words, only gestures, like what I'm doing with my hands all the time. Profit is something which gives you financial gain, becomes non-profit, not for gain. Toxic, meaning poisonous, becomes non-toxic, safe, not poisonous. Essential, meaning necessary, becomes non-essential, not necessary. Compliant, meaning something or someone that follows rules, becomes non-compliant, not following the rules. Are you still with me? So the prefix of a or an, for example, moral, someone who has concerns about what is right and what is wrong, becomes amoral, someone who has no concept of right or wrong. Typical, something that is usual or expected, becomes atypical, not typical or not normal. Theist, someone who believes in God, becomes an atheist, who's someone who is without the belief in a God. Tonal, a particular sound quality or style, becomes atonal, something without tone or lacking harmony. And symmetrical, something which is balanced, becomes asymmetrical, unbalanced. There you go, there's a rundown of all 50. So, why don't you try to go back to the beginning of the video and see if you can now say the correct opposite of all 10 quiz words correctly. And if you can, you've officially mastered prefix antonyms. Lastly, thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed this return of Super Easy English. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe below. And if you're interested in learning and improving your English with us, then perhaps you take a look at our membership. And as always, we'll see you next time. Ta-ra!